Welcome back to ESA Summer 21. My name is Hud601. I'm going to be your host for the next few runs. We are raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream. And we'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. We had one donation come in for the previous run that I just want to read now, and that's from DevJock, who donates $7. And they say, $7 for 7 minutes over estimate, as promised. Now, though, it's time for Tiny Tim, and he's going to be running Dizzy 3.5. Take it away.
Hello there, folks. My name is TinyTim78, and we're going to be running Dizzy 3.5, Dizzy 3.5. You might wonder, where's Magicland Dizzy? Well, that's coming very shortly, because thanks to your amazing generosity, we raised $250 for Save the Children to make this bonus run happen. And there's a reason I'm doing it before the main run. So I will get my wonderful commentator, the always awesome Digital Duck.
Hello.
To explain. Blink and you miss it, folks. Blink and you miss it. So I'm going to start the run. Duck's going to explain the run. And, well, you'll see.
And then it'll be over.
It will indeed be over. So, counting down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so this is Dizzy 3.5. It's the half sequel to Fantasy World Dizzy, but more importantly, it's the prequel to Magicland Dizzy. Dizzy's friends have been spirited away to Magicland, and he's been left alone with Danny, who is either his son or his nephew, depending on which part of the lore you take a note of. We have to grab a few things to rescue Danny, and then he will give us some sky boots. And with the sky boots, we can take our lovely jumping abilities and take ourselves over the clouds. We get to the clouds. We don't sink. Well, we do sink on them, but we don't fall through them because we've got the special sky boots, which for some reason we don't need once we actually get into Magicland. We tie the two bits of rope together to make a longer rope, and then we tie the machine to the generator, and then try to start the generator.
I'm coming up.
Takes a few attempts, and
time.
That's time.
Okay, so quick recap. As Duck was saying, that is the introduction to the game we're just about to play, which is Magicland Dizzy. So I am now going to switch over to Magicland Dizzy, and we'll reset the timer, and we will get started on that straight away. So, again, are we ready? You ready to go, Duck?
Yep.
Okay. Before we start that, Huds, is there anything you'd like to say just now before we get started?
Just a couple of donations very quickly. We've had an anonymous donation of $10. Thank you very much for that. And we've also had a $50 donation come in from Zacharaz106. It says, charity speedruns always make for fun weeks. Donation goes to the Octopath Traveler for Best Girl, Tressa's Story. And one more donation of $50 from Willis the Penguin. Wear the Scooby-Doo costume, save the children. It just makes sense. And that one, no surprise, goes towards wearing the Scooby-Doo cosplay costume for the Scooby-Doo run later on. We are so close to that $10,000 threshold. Chat, can we break through it during this run? I hope we can.
That would be amazing. $10,000 for Save the Children. Please keep those donations coming in. Without further ado, let's get started, however. So, are we ready? Here we go. Time to get dizzy. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Duck, would you like to explain a little bit about this game to start with? Will I do the first bit, because the first bit's quite difficult for me, so I'll let Duck explain the first 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, so this is the game proper. It continues immediately where we just left off. Dizzy's friends, the Yoke folk, are in Magicland, and they've been turned into various things. So we've just seen Dylan there. He's been turned into a bush, and we have to find the necessary ingredients to save him. The same is true of the other Yoke folk. We'll meet them along the way. The gameplay, as you can see, is fairly simple. You walk around, you jump up things, you pick up items, you use them in other places. And we've just got to use everything at our disposal to save all our friends and get home again.
I'm concentrating on this first bit here. This is the bit that tends to give me problems. I don't quite know why, but...
Yeah, so you'll notice that we're also picking up a whole load of diamonds. These diamonds are necessary to beat the game. At the very end, we'll have a gate that requires collecting all of them to get through. But on top of that, it also gives us health every time we collect one. So we don't necessarily want to collect them just as we go through. We'll save some for when we actually need the health. So there's some health management in the run there as well.
Stab poor Dylan here. This is the most important part of the run.
Yes, the handle.
Got to handle it properly. Okay. Now this shark jump here, I'll talk a little bit about this. This is not easy. This game is, well, it came out in the early 1990s, and it's an Spectrum game, and they were not particularly forgiving. Could you explain about the lives in this game, please, Doug?
Yeah, so, as is common for many games of the era, in this game you've got 3 lives, you lose them all, that is the end, and you're back to the beginning. We do have a health system, which is, this is the first game in the series, unless you count Dizzy 3.5 as we've just seen. This is the first game in the series to have a health system, which means you can walk into enemies and take some damage and not die. But if your health reaches 0, you lose a life, you lose 3 lives, your journey is over.
Yeah, and your run is over, and it happens a lot. Let's hope it doesn't happen today. I've been practicing, and practice wasn't fantastic, but we'll see. I'm confident. We'll have a bit of fun here. We'll have a bit of fun. Right, okay. Bit of vandalism coming up here. If you'd like to talk about that, Doc.
Yeah. So as I said before, we've got diamonds scattered about the place. Some of them are hidden behind the railings and other objects in the game. And if you don't know where they are, it can be an absolute nightmare to find them. But luckily, we do know where they are, so that's not going to be as big an issue.
Okay, a bit of ghost busting coming up here. I picked up a power pill earlier on, which enables me to deal with those ghosts. I've also got this wonderful witch over here, and I've got to give her the kitty back. So she's needs her a cat, so there we go. Cat found and sorted. We're going to pick up that diamond. And you may have noticed a little frog there earlier on, but we'll talk more about that frog later on, because that frog is actually quite important.
I apologise for quickly jumping in, but I wanted to let you know we have just passed $10,000 raised for Save the Children.
Woo!
Congratulations, everyone. Let's go.
Thank you so much, everyone. Absolutely fantastic. $10,000. Thank you so much. It's amazing to meet that, especially during my run. So thank you so much indeed, folks. Keep those donations coming in. Absolutely fantastic cause. Thank you. Do you have any donations, anything to read just now then, Huds? Because I'm doing a little bit of backtracking here.
Oh, they are coming in thick and fast. I'll get through as many as I can. I'm going to have to speedrun these. Dark Star has $10 donation saying, always happy to see a Dizzy speedrun with Tiny Tim. Good luck. We've also had $5 come in from Zonorous. Says, hey, all Zonorous here. Just want to quickly say that Tiny Tim is one of my favourite people in all of speedrunning. Thanks. That's all. Thanks. And one last one for now from none other than Big the Dave, who says,
oh, no.
Count them for me here. Excuse me, Tim. I'm sure you're excited for your run, but you know I promised this, so shall we begin? The weather this week has been excruciatingly sunny side up, but I hope the heat this week hasn't scrambled your brain. Good luck on the run.
Oh, Dave. Right, okay.
Never fails to crack me up.
He definitely cracked me up. He cracked me up so much that my own fault that I've missed a stick for some reason. So that's a sticky situation for you, Dave. So thank you very much. Thank you so much to everyone with the generous donations. It always surprises me when I do these runs and I get so much sort of appreciation in the donations, because I do this because I enjoy doing it. It's amazing to help a charity, amazing to help people out, but I do it because I enjoy it, you know, and it's just to see other people enjoying it as well. It's all the reward you can need. It's just amazing. So thank you so much, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. Right, there's my stick, look. Right, let's carry on from there. Right then. Doc, would you like to explain this next little section here regarding the stick and where I'm going?
Yeah, so the stick has one particular use in the game, and it's used to hit a goat, which is, well, we'll not dwell on that. But there's a lot of inventory management in this section, because Dizzy can only hold 3 items at a time. And we have about 7 or 8 items to take over to the left, which means we kind of have to juggle a few things about, which is what you'll see here.
Now, there's also a little trick that happens there as well. It's not obvious if you didn't know it happened, but again, would you mind explaining that to me, Duck?
Yep, so there is a certain area with which you can interact with characters, and the area where you interact with the speaking to them is smaller than the area where you can use items against them. And so if we want to avoid talking to them, we can use items in very specific spots next to them, so that we talk to them. We don't talk to them, we just use the item straight away.
Okay, right. Let's just see if we can get this. Unfortunately, I've had a bit of a issue here. Yeah. Got a little bit confused here, which is very easy to do in these games. So, if you'd like to read something else, then please, Huds, please feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. These donations are still coming in thick and fast for you, Tiny Tim. Iggy Zig, $20, says, donating to show some love to Tiny Tim and to recognise the sheer joy he brings to the world. Good luck, go fast, and let's make this the best ESA it can be. For the kids. And that one goes towards the new incentive we've just opened, actually, for Moonbase Alpha 2-player co-op. This one is an incentive to force the runners to communicate exclusively with in-game text-to-speech. If you'd like to see that, it's coming up during the hackathon block later on. Get your donations into that one. Let's meet that target.
I will be very disappointed if there's no soy.
There was a very clutch jump on the bridge there. Unfortunately, what happens with that bridge is it runs on a set cycles, and unfortunately I have made a bit of a boo-boo and messed up the cycles there. And I took a jump, and somehow I managed it. So, complete clutch there. Right, okay. Unfortunately getting a little bit mixed up. I do apologise, folks. Let me just try and get this back on track. The estimate is pretty generous, so we should be okay. So, would you like to talk a little bit about the Spectrum then, please, Duck, which is the platform that this game is being run on?
Yeah, so the Spectrum in general is so it's originally released in 1982, which means it predates most of the platforms you've seen here today. There are only 8 colours, or 16 or 15, depending on how you define a colour, that the Spectrum can display at any one time, and it's limited to how many it can display in each small cell of the screen. So when you see the way the graphics are laid out, it's all laid out with these limitations in mind, which is why you see Dizzy change colour a lot whenever he passes by certain objects.
Okay, here we go. Close your eyes here for a little bit of bashing the goat. There we go. That's that done. Right, so that's got that troll out the way. And this will lead us to actually rescuing our first friend here. So if you'd like to talk about this one, Duck, please.
Yeah, so our first friend is Denzel. He's a pretty cool guy. And in fact, he's so cool, he's encased in a block of ice. So we need to melt the ice, and luckily a bucket of hot water will just do the job. That's plenty good enough for us.
Yep, that's Denzel Rescue. There are 6 of my friends that I have to rescue. Then I've got to go and deal with the evil wizard that sent us here in the first place. And then I've got to finally get myself out as well. So there's quite a lot of objectives in this game. But that's the first one down. So we've rescued Denzel. But don't blink and you'll miss the second one. If Duck, you could explain the predicament of this next person.
Yeah, so the second one is Daisy, which is Dizzy's girlfriend. And she has put on a bit of weight. We're going to give her some alcohol, because that apparently makes her thin again and small again, and then she goes home.
Yep. So we've rescued Daisy.
That is literally it.
Yeah, a bit of de-chonking there. Daisy is now back to a decent size, and we're now going to move on with the next part of this. So once this first part of the run it's pretty tricky. The beginning and the end of the run are where the most difficult parts are in terms of actual sort of playing the game. Because you may think, oh, you're just playing the game. There isn't anything difficult about this. Trust me. The route itself is quite tricky to follow and remember, and a lot of the jumping that you'll see is fairly precise, especially with anything that involves water. Also, I'm doing quite a lot of infantry work here. That wasn't exactly what I wanted. Let's try that again. So, and you've got to be pretty precise with it, because if you're not, it does tend to mess things up. So let's just see what we can do here. That should be... I don't want the cross. I do want the... Yeah, because all these items are overstacking here. There we go. That's just about right. No, it's not. I want to put the lightning rod back down on there. Yeah, this has just got a bit messy, unfortunately, now, because it shows you if you make a mistake, then it's very, very easy to mess it up. Now, yeah, I think I'm good now. Yeah, I'm good.
You got it.
Yeah, okay. That was a bit unfortunate, but it happens. It happens. Right. Okay. Let's keep going. Right. So, would you like to talk about that cake there, please, Doug? Because it is quite amusing.
Yeah. So as you've seen, we've just saved Daisy by giving her the drink me potion, which is actually a bottle of whiskey, I think. But there's also the eat me cake, which you can also give to her. And if you do, instead of getting smaller, she actually gets even bigger and fills the entire room and crushes Dizzy to death. So I don't recommend doing that. But it's quite funny to see.
Yeah, it's quite amusing, but not good for your health. So no, you really don't want to be doing that if you can avoid it. A good tip is not to super enlarge your girlfriend. Right, okay, here we go. Let me just get this here. Now pick up a duster, and I'm going to drop this duster on Dylan. This is Dylan down here, who's all pushed up here. And we're going to grab that leaf, and we're back on track now to get this little bit. So we're now going to go back to the witch who we spoke to earlier on, and she is going to give us, once we give her the development bits, because we gave her a cat back, you see. So she's going to give us the bits we need to sort Dylan out. So while we're doing that, Huds, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, we've still got some more donations. So, BunnyBox24 donates $5, and they say, had to donate during Tim's run to say, sorry for the dad joke during your pre-show run. Good luck for your run. That one is being put towards the Scooby-Doo cosplay incentive, and a little update on that one for everyone. We're currently at $874 out of the $1,000 needed, so just 126 to go. So, if you're thinking about donating, that might be a good one to put it to, because we're really close to meeting that one. Time for one more?
Yeah, go for it.
Cosmic the Dolphin donates $5 as well, and they say in big capital letters, Tim, you are just a wonderful person. And that one's going towards Katana Zero All Stages, the secret boss incentive.
Oh, thank you so much, Cosmic, my friend. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, we've got Dodgy Shark here. Dodgy Shark. Oh, we got there. Right. Okay. So this last section here, what we're doing, a lot of this maybe isn't making a huge amount of sense, but basically we are doing everything in a very specific order, because as Duck mentioned, Dizzy only has 3 inventory slots. You can only carry 3 items at a time. And a lot of the routing in this game is down to the maneuvering of the various items, getting them where you need them in various sort of places. And it is quite tricky to do, and unfortunately I just fell out of a window, so that's not very good. So Hugs again, if there's anything else. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We had a donation from Tony Pizzide, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, $10, saying go for 10k. Username, I'm really bad at this, sorry. Username Niels donates $16, saying so close to 10k, and Louis6321 donated $25 as well, saying Pog 10k. Thank you all for your donations towards Save the Children, and for helping us to reach that $10,000 mark. It's brilliant. Well done.
Thank you so much. Right, okay, I'm going to concentrate on this section now, because obviously we're having a few problems with it. So if Doctor, you could explain what the next bit we're trying to do is.
Yeah, so you might notice some music notes popping out of Dizzy occasionally. That's because he's got a personal stereo on him. And we're going to give that personal stereo to someone else who really likes music. And there's a bard up the tree. So we're gonna give him personal stereo, and in return he's gonna give us his magic pipes.
And the comment he makes when you give him that is he says, rock and roll, eureka, and decides to abandon the pipes.
As you do.
Right, we're closing in on getting the next. Now, the next two or three sort of savings happen quite quickly, one after the other here. So we're going to head back over here. Oh, can you explain about the frog, please?
Yeah, so the frog is Dora, is what the newest member of the Yoke folk here, and she has she's been turned into a frog. And to save her, we need to give her to a Prince Charming.
Indeed, but we're taking her for a little trip down the well first. And we're going to do another bit of animal abuse, unfortunately. Apologies for those who like rodents. Do a bit of rodent side here.
I mean, Dizzy is pretty much all about vandalism and animal abuse.
He really is. They didn't really think about these sorts of things in the 80s. They're just like, no, it's fine. You can rip things up. You can abuse these poor animals. And just, yeah, well. He's a very mischievous egg. He's very, very antisocial. Right, this little section here is quite nice. Duck can also explain, hopefully, if I get this right, what happens here. Oh, no. Didn't work. Never mind. Dear. Right, here we go.
Yeah, so that would have been another dialogue skip. Unfortunately, Tim was just slightly off and didn't manage it, but it's not a big problem. It's just a couple of extra lines of dialogue we have to sit through.
It happens.
Yeah,
Right.
it happens.
Now then, sword time. And if you watch closely here, if you'd like to explain what's happening with this one.
Yeah, so we have a magic lamp. We rub the magic lamp with the cloth duster, and a genie pops out, and he zaps. He will zap Dizzy if there's nothing else in the room, but if there's a lightning rod, obviously the lightning will attract towards the lightning rod, and we use that to wake up Dozy, who is incredibly shocked and needs to have a sleep.
His response is, wow, that was shocking. I don't need to go and sleep after that. After he'd been put to sleep with a magic spell. So yeah, that's Dozy. Right, another gem. And you'll notice that these diamonds, I'm not picking them all up at the moment. If you'd like to talk about this chessboard quickly, Duck.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of Alice in Wonderland references so far, but this is clearly the biggest one. We're through the Looking Glass. We're taking the Red Queen, and we're saving Grand Dizzy.
Yep, that's now 6 for 6. We've now saved all the Yoke folk. So we have 2 missions left now. We have to go and deal with the evil wizard Zax, who's responsible for our predicament in the first place. And we also need to rescue ourselves, get ourselves back out of Magicland. So this next section now is quite a bit of backtracking. So again, Huds, if there's anything else you'd like to say, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, we've got loads of donations coming in for that incentive I mentioned earlier for Moonbase Alpha 2 player, the text-to-speech communication, where we will force the runners to only use the built-in text-to-speech function in order to talk to one another. So Bachan donates $50, says save the children. DevJock donates $10, says all the Rufflecopters. We also have username Niels again with $21 saying, so was there once a normal sized Tim who drank the drink me potion? Don't know if you want to answer that one?
I'm gonna say that no, I've always been this small, but hey, good things come in small packages, so I don't mind.
We also had a $25 donation from Zeta Gundam ZZ, who says, shout out to Tiny Tim for just being a super friendly person and making donations a blast. Keep up the great work, buddy. And then one last one for you. Sken me, $100 donation saying Tim is a legend. Keep up the amazing events.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Skenme. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, again, who's donated. Remember, it's all going towards Save the Children. As I said earlier, one of the things I love about doing these events, helping out these events, is that opportunity to help other people, you know? And I'm very, very lucky in that I'm in a decent place that I can do that. And it's just amazing. Right, Duck, I'm going to cut myself off here. Could you explain about this? This is Dizzy versus the Volcano. This is the most difficult part of the run here.
Yeah, so the Volcano becomes active once you've saved all of Dizzy's friends. Unfortunately, the clouds are completely RNG. and sometimes you can be stood there waiting for hours just for a cloud to appear in the right place. Luckily, it seemed to happen fairly quickly this time.
The only problem is we've got to go back 2 more times for this cloud sequence. Now this is the devil down here, so we get to do a deal with the devil and get this trident, and this trident is what we're going to use to deal with the wizard. But now I've got to get back over the volcano again. So this, as I said, is the most difficult part of the run. It is really quite a challenge. Again, you need to be very precise on your jumping. And can you talk about the cloud jumping, please, Doug?
Yeah, so when you're standing on a cloud, you will slowly sink through the cloud. And normally this isn't too much of an issue. It's just to make sure you don't hang in one place. But with because these clouds are already moving up, it kind of means you're sinking through them twice as quickly, and it can very often mean you sink through the cloud before you've even fully landed on it. It just makes the jumps a lot harder than they actually need to be.
Yeah, and then you end up in the lava and you end up as a boiled egg, and it's really, really not good. It's quite unpleasant, and that volcano is my nemesis, to be perfectly honest, in this game. I mean, this game, as I said at the beginning, this is a fun game to play, but it is quite tricky. The games of that period didn't pull any punches, and they are quite challenging, to say the least. And they did this generally through the sort of limited lives. I mean, these days, limited lives, I don't even know if it still really happens, particularly in modern games. It's almost like an archaic mechanic these days, but oh yes, this was... I did actually beat this game as a child, interestingly enough. It's one of the few Dizzy games I actually managed to beat, because the series itself does have a bit of a reputation. Could you talk a little bit more about the series, Duck, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so we kind of briefly mentioned before that the prequel to this game is Dizzy 3.5, and that's because this is Dizzy 4, and you can kind of see it in the background at the top. If you look at look behind the text, you can see a IV in Roman numerals. There are actually 8 main Dizzy games, numbered 1 to 8. There are a few other adventure games of this style as well, and then there's some arcade spin-offs. But generally speaking, we focus on the adventure games because they are the most interesting to speedrun in general, I think.
Okay, so there's the wizard, and we've just done a bit of wizard stabbing. So we've killed the evil wizard's axe. We've got his ring, but now we've got to do a Lord of the Rings and take this ring all the way back to the volcano and throw it in the cracks. So with that, Huds, it's your cue. Is there anything else you need to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Xerox donates $9.99. This one goes to the Moonbase Alpha text-to-speech communication, and Xerox says, I'll try my best here. Haha, Moonbase go... I think that was enough wubs. 607 also donates $10 and says, I'm glad to see Dizzy featured on such a big stream as this. It's probably my favourite European video game franchise. Good luck, Tim. And finally, Pesset donates $10. Says, I never played original version of Dizzy, but enjoyed DOS version back in the day. Glad to see the game being destroyed.
Thank you so much indeed for all the Dizzy love here. It really is appreciated. As I say, this is a very, very important series. It's one of my childhood favourites, and not the reason I actually got into speedrunning, but it's pretty much become almost my my sort of, I don't know, signature now. But I've really, really do enjoy. Question for you, Duck. I haven't missed a gem, have I?
I think you have. I think you're normally at 26 at this point, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back and have a little look.
Did you get the one on the bridge?
Yeah, let's go back and have a little look. This is the issue here, unfortunately, folks, is that, again, this game requires 30 gems to finish. And quite a few of them, as we said, are hidden. But what I tend to do for the speedrun is I do tend to leave them to the end to ensure that I get my health replenished. But I believe I've maybe missed one here. So I'm just going to take a little quick stroll, wander back and make sure. Because if I have missed it, I'm going to have to come all the way back. So let's just make sure we have a wee look over here.
The last thing you want to do is jump over the volcano a few more times.
Yeah, no, I don't really like that volcano. We don't get along very well. So let's just see. I'm hoping that it's here, because that means I haven't wasted my time wandering all the way back. Yeah, it is. Look at that. It's sitting right there in the open, and I went right past it. No excuse. Never mind. Right, at least we've got it. That's good. Right.
If it helps, I didn't actually see you go past it. It was only once you got to the monument.
Yeah.
I thought, hang on, this isn't the right count.
Yeah, I will, in my defence there, say that unfortunately the gems, the diamonds, have that yellow colour, and it was sitting against the railing on the bridge. So yeah, I should have realised it was there, but hey ho, it happens. I mean, my response to things like that is, yeah, I'm doing this to have fun. I'm doing this to obviously raise money for charity, but I'm here to do my best. And if I'm doing great. If I'm not, hey, you do your best. You have fun. I love doing these games. I really, really do. I love speedrunning this series. I do speedrun a few other things as well, mainly more retro titles. But yeah, it's always good fun. Right, okay, we are approaching... Oh, I'm going to grab that gem as well. We are approaching the end here now, though, however. So, Huds, if there's anything else, any last sort of minute things you'd like to say?
Yeah, just quickly want to promote some of the upcoming bid wars for the Hackathon block later on. We currently have a bid war for Star Wars Jedi Knight for the commentary bias between Team Carla and Team Juanita. It's currently $40 to $31 in favour of Team Carla, so plenty of opportunity to sway that one at the moment.
Okay, so here we go. This is the final tangle with the volcano here. And after that, and that's the only thing about this run, I love this game, but the most difficult part of it is right at the very end, because you get the volcano, you've got to cross the volcano 3 times, basically, and then you've got to do the cracks section, which we're just about to come up to just now. So what we're going to do is we're going to descend into hell here, descending into the depths, and we are going to grab that diamond. That's one of the last diamonds I need. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to get close enough. There you go. That's better. Right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over here. This jump is actually quite tricky, but I'm going to go over there to get that diamond. That's 30 diamonds now, so we're nearly there. And then we've got to go over here. We've got to drop that ring, and that's the Lord of the Rings moment. That's Zach's gone. And we're going to go. Time is coming up. We're going to go over here. We're going to go over here, and we are going to speak to the devil, and time. There you go. That is Magicland, is he? A few little hiccups there, but I hope everybody enjoyed the run. I really enjoyed doing it. Very quickly before I go, just shout out, big thank you to ESA for having me in your marathon again. I was saying before we started, it's just amazing to me every time. I cannot thank everybody enough. I love it. It's an honour and a privilege. So thank you so much indeed. Big shout outs to the wonderful Digital Duck, who are who's absolutely amazing as well. And please stay tuned. We have some more Dizzy coming up for you right away after this. So yeah, I mean that's me for now. I'm going to go away and shut up, and we'll carry on with the marathon. Huds, over to you.
Thank you so much for that amazing run of Magicland, Dizzy there, Tiny Tim. Amazing run. And yeah, if you guys want to see some more Dizzy action, don't go anywhere. We're going to swap our 2 people around. Digital Duck is up next, running Dizzy, the Ultimate Cartoon Adventure, and Tim will be your commentator. We'll be right back.